or of course to Chris Moss via the game attack Rioters Tag 820. And I must say, despite the depleted grid, there's a very healthy turnout of you people watching tonight, so thank you all very much here. This is meant to be the second fastest league, and we've seen some good lap times. Now, last night's F1 race, we saw F1 speed, not F1 speed, sorry, Sean B 22, I keep getting them confused for some reason, setting the fastest lap at the 1:11.5s, while we saw the likes of TRL Button and the likes of Ice Cold Andy down in the low 10s. It'll be interesting to see if we have that kind of different pace diversity here on the track for the race itself.
Yeah, the only difference between Button and Mr. Ice Cold Andy and Sean is Sean had clear air, and Mr. Ice Cold Andy and Tyrrell Button, they had to go through traffic to get through their laps.
Oh, someone's readied up already. I don't know who that is because I certainly didn't press that button. Was that you?
No, definitely wasn't me. I'm still looking.
Well, dear, oh dear. Well, in the meantime, then, obviously, we are here live for the 50% distance race, the Monte Carlo Monaco Grand Prix GP2 Division. 39 laps around the Côte d'Azur with the Mediterranean next to us. Brought to you live by GT Omega Racing and GamePod.co.uk. Live and exclusive on Twitch.tv. Let's get out to the circuit and see what happens. So, 39 laps of the Monte Carlo Grand Prix, one of the jewels in the crown of motorsport, along with the Le Mans 24-hour and the Indy 500. We've seen quite a few drivers not turn out tonight, and a great opportunity for the likes of XRL Fozzy, the likes of XRL Bernie and Stewart to be taking victories around the Principality. And once those 5 lights go out, we will be racing here in Monte Carlo. And it's lights out, and away they go. Heading out to Sandoval, and already XRL Stewart, the big pressure is JB2503, muscles round the outside to take the lead. A sensational piece of opportunity driving, and already Stewart is down to second place, and he's lost an end plate, going up Beau Rivage on the first lap. That's put him in real trouble now, because behind him in the Ferrari, XRL Fozzy is all over his diffuser down into Mirabeau. Disaster for Stewart, he's got a terrible start. He's going to be having understeer for the rest of this stint now, and that's the last thing he wants, staring at the back of that Mercedes. JB2503, sensational piece of driving for him to take the lead.
And we've just had a sidepod glitch after Tom Chambers made an absolutely sensational move at the hairpin. But unfortunately, sidepod glitch at Portier 1, and he's now lost his front wing and back down to 8.
Well, that's just really being a case of being Tish out of luck, really, isn't it? XRL Bernie, meanwhile, Nikita diving on the inside, but has gone over the inside of the Nouvelle chicane. That is going to be an illegal overtake. She will have to give that place back. If she does not, that's pretty much certain to be a penalty. And XRL Bernie's actually dropping away from Nikita. Nikita's dropping in very, very quickly. If she goes over the start-finish line without giving that place back, that is definitely going to be a penalty. Not what she needs here in this race around the Principality, with a potential penalty already from gaining in the track. Meanwhile, XRL Fozzy is attacking the back of Stewart down into Sandoval, but already XRL Fozzy realises he's too close. Oh, he hits the wall, but gets away without damaging his end plate. He's a bit more lucky than Stewart at the moment. Heading through Beau Rivage into Casino Square, and you've got the lying Stewart, JB2503 in first place. Behind him, XRL Stewart, and then XRL Fozzy as they head into Mirabeau Corner. JB2503 giving dirty air to the back of that McLaren, and if there's one circuit in the world you don't want that, it's here at Monte Carlo. Oh, Stewart pushes the wall at Lowe's hairpin, manages to not damage his end plate. Oh, Stewart's lost connection. We've lost him already. He's out of the Grand Prix. We're down to 7 drivers. Wow, what's going on? Ian Unstoppable, meanwhile, in 4th place, is doing a commendable job as Nikita's attacking the back of it. She's not gifting that place back. And again, she's gone over the inside of the Nouvelle chicane. She's got to be very careful. Last night, TRL Button got a penalty for that. And we also saw Nira Toasty getting disqualified last week after repeated corner cutting and incident. It's something she's got to be careful of here. It's so easy to corner cut, but that doesn't mean you can do it.
Especially since I caught her 4 times in quali as well. This is 6 times in 2 racing laps, including the quali as well, so this is not good from Nikita.
Not indeed. Meanwhile, on the street, quite a lot of questions actually. XRL Bob was saying that his race last night was utter bollocks. Oh dear, that's not what we want to hear. Meantime, Soaring Wombat simply saying this is going to be good. Well, that move at the start by Jamie25003 certainly said it was. And then after that, we've also got quite a few comments from Master Indigo saying, why does GP2 have so much lag compared to F1 that has no serious issues? XRL Bob says it's all down to the host. Meanwhile, I'll just saying that it's Massenet before Casino Square. I know that, but I treat it all as one section because I'm like that. Deal with it. Meanwhile, XRL Buzzy in second place, attacking the back of Jamie25003, going through the tunnel, heading out towards the Nouvelle Chicane, and I have to say, XRL Buzzy doing a great job. Oh, both drivers locking up badly, but both making the corner beautifully there, setting a very good example here, and they've got quite a decent gap now, moving back to third place. Because if you look there, riding on board, Living Dead 69 has quietly got himself onto the podium, doing a great job from McLaren, and it's about 2 seconds maybe off these guys, so he's not quite going to have the dirty air. And with these option tyres, which are obviously the super soft, they won't wear quickly. Could that give him a great opportunity to be able to haul himself into some good points towards the end of the race?
It definitely can, but he's got to keep up with XRL Fuzzy and Jamie, who seem to be pulling away in the third sector.
Jamie's just clotted the wall, Sandovodo, and XRL Fuzzy's got a great chance to head up Beau Rivage into Massenet, and you have to see that XRL Fuzzy's got much better drive than Jamie25003 into Casino Square, and again, Jamie started jumping around. Please don't tell me that's a lagging car. That's the last thing we need. As we cut away briefly, they go into Mirabeau, down towards Lowe's Head. We saw Adrian Sudlow passing here for real life. Jamie's crattling the wall there at Lowe's Head, and I don't know if that's flag or not, but as a result of this, Living Dead 69 is now caught up quickly because XRL Fuzzy just not got the confidence to race with him.
Yeah, Jamie's definitely lagging because you can't jump like that in a real car. It's not physically possible.
Into the Nouvelle Chicane, and Living Dead 69 getting over the inside curves very well there, getting off the ride, heading towards the back, and he's getting about maybe half a second here on XRL Fuzzy and the Ferrari. It's just given a great opportunity to attack, going through the swim pull section, very easy to get lost here and go over the curves. Classes the ball out there and almost loses the back of the car with a lack of traction. As anyone who's raced around Bahrain will tell you, the bollards are things to avoid. They will kill your car very quickly.
Interestingly, Ian O'Supple's now getting to the back of the McLaren and battling for the podium position.
We're seeing that kind of bungee rope effect between the drivers at the moment, where it seems that one of them's catching up on a lap, and they're either having to back off or making some critical error in the dirty air, and that's causing the driver behind them to catch up. It's all a bit bizarre. Nikita's just lagged big time, and actually XRL Bernie nearly went slap into the back of her. There was contact, but amazingly no damage, and going up through Massenet on the outside of Casino Square. What an overtake! XRL Bernie passing Nikita at Casino Square. I've never seen that before. Absolutely sensational.
Yeah, I think Nikita, the reason why she had to let Bernie through is the fact she got front wing damage when she went into Sunday Book, which is why she then, him and Bernie had a little bit of a collision there.
But even so, fantastic driving from Bernie to not only have the balls to go around the inside of Massenet and then round the outside of Casino Square. You find me an F1 driver that's that ballsy, and I'll give you £100. And no, I'm not counting Romain Grosjean in 2012.
Gonna say, how long have I got?
Meantime, TRL Martin, new comments are on the stream, saying commentators so enthusiastic despite the game being terrible. I like it. Well, the game certainly does have its flaws. The XRL Fuzzy has caught up to the back of Jamie25003, going through Sandoval and up through Beau Rivage, and XRL Fuzzy's really keeping Jamie honest here, heading through Massenet, and you can see the difference in lines there. Fuzzy favouring the middle line, whereas Jamie tries to wall of death NASCAR style round the outside and take the wider line there. Big mistake there. Jamie25003 hitting the wall at Mirabeau, almost emulating Nico Rosberg, but got away with that. And XRL Fuzzy has had to back off because he's made sure he didn't want to T-bone him at the side.
Yeah, interestingly, I've got a message from BHA Captain Waiter saying he's watching the stream, even though we've only got 7 drivers, it's super commentating from both of us. He's thinking maybe Murray Walker and James Hunt. He says we decide who's who.
Well, I do a lot more of the talking, so I think it'd have to be the old money talking for me, I'm afraid. But Fuzzy for the win is a comment from Arnold Jigsaw's, courtesy of the Xbox live stream, and he also says it's going to see you tomorrow. I think that's a bit of a challenge being thrown down there, as Jamie2503 goes through the inside of the swimming pool chicane, kicks a bit of the bollard up, and XRL Fuzzy wisely sits back for now as he heads through Rascas corner, trying to get close to the back of Jamie2503 and the Mercedes. But once again, we're seeing that bungee rope effect because of the fact that he hit the bollard. XRL Fuzzy's just not got the confidence to stay with him. Meanwhile, on the stream already, Clarks is saying great move, Bernie, and I think it's F1 Speed who's using the Channel 2. Please confirm it. I'm sick of saying Channel 2. Says overtake of the week. Andy Coybe also agrees and says that's overtake of the week sorted. The good thing is, it's caught on footage, so we're all able to watch that again and again. Going through Law's hairpin, XRL Fuzzy actually started to catch up. Him and the X and also Jamie2503 are the closest cars on track for now. But in the middle of it, we are down to just 7 runners and riders, which is a real disappointment here around the Principality. Now, interestingly, could the Ferrari of Tom actually be in a good position here, despite that side pod glitch? Because Tom Chambers has got completely clean air, and he's totally out on his own. If there's a safety car or late rainfall or something like that, could he suddenly find himself in a position to overhaul everybody?
He could, but I think with the qualifying pace he showed, it's going to be a very tough job. But what he really does need is a safety car. Unfortunately, with 0% chance of rain, I don't think there will be any chance of rain to help him out, which is a shame because after last night's
But then again, it said 100% chance of rain in the qualifying, and we didn't see a single drop. So who's to say that we won't see rain in the actual race? Interestingly, XRL Stewart sent me a message. Obviously, we lost him early on. He's saying, no, my first ever code is DSC. I need Fuzzy to get no more than 20 points. Well, currently he's on 18. So for now, Fuzzy is currently not going to get those 20 points, but he's stayed very close to Jamie2503. So I would not be writing him off for the win just yet.
Yeah, not only that, if he gets the win, he goes above Stewart no matter what, due to the fact he's won 2 races and Stewart's only won the 1.
Well, interestingly, on the screen, we've got a few comments here. XRL Roberts reckons that Fozzy will look to undercut. Well, we saw last night that undercutting did work. We saw quite a few drivers getting caught out by now. CRL Button was one of the few, and so was Ice Cold Andy. But at the same time, you've also got to be careful. With the actual small-scale nature of the track, someone like Thomas at the back of the field might hold you up without really being right intending to, due to how narrow the circuit is, if he comes out and you're about to lap him. So it's going to... Oh, actually, already, it seems that Jamie2503 is not going to give him a chance to undercut. He's dived in first. Well, that's interesting. Jamie2503, what tyres is he going on to? He's sticking with the option tyres. So that's going to put him back out in at least 4th place, I reckon, because we've already seen Living Dead 69 go through in the McLaren. And then after that, Ian Stopwell is in 3rd place in the Williams. And we've also got XRL Bernie and Nikita going through. Oh, loads of debris at Sander Bow. Looks like someone's lost the front wing. Yeah, I don't know who that is.
Front wing. The Living Dead lost his front wing at Sander Bow, and he's now lost 2nd place as well as the Ian.
Oh, this is disaster. Absolute disaster. Living Dead 69 has got to do half a lap going through Mirabeau, and this is going to put him under real pressure, actually, from our rookie driver, because this means he's now got to have the same problem. Oh, good driving there from Living Dead 69. Sacrificed himself almost like Kimi Räikkönen in the real-life race to get out of the way of XRL Bernie and also Nikita. Very well done to avoid that. And now XRL Bernie goes into provisional P3. He'll be very happy about that. Nikita in P4, meanwhile, down in P5, we've got Living Dead 69 with no wing, and Jamie's going to go past him in the tunnel. Once again, Living Dead 69 getting out of his way. Oh, curiously, he's now on prime tyres. Despite his showing options when he was in the pit box, Jamie's somehow on the prime tyres. Maybe I missed that. Maybe I was too busy cutting away to a different car. Either way, he's on the prize now. Looking at the back of Nikita. Oh, Nikita! She nearly spins it in the swimming pool complex, damages an end plate, but manages to avoid losing her wing. She just about gets away with that. Meanwhile, in 3rd place, XRL Bernie has dived in. He decided he's going to exchange his tyres. XRL Fuzzy, however, has stayed out. Now, this is an interesting strategy, as it looks to me. We're starting... Oh, it's Nikita! She's gone straight on a Sander Bow and somehow not lost her wing. I don't know how she got away with that.
Interestingly, Tom Chambers has now passed the Living Dead and goes into the pits the same lap, so he's effectively ahead of him.
That's why I thought that might happen, because of how early in the lap Living Dead 69 lost his wing. He lost it going up through Beau Rivage, and that's normal. That's a good 1 minute 10 seconds if you've got all your gear. If you've not got your front wing with the corners like Lowe's, they've got the corners like the Nouvelle Chicane, Rascasse, do you want to be trying to take those kind of corners without a front wing? I certainly wouldn't.
It's just unfortunate with Living Dead. He was running very well up into the podium points. Got a good start, but unfortunately...
Well, Jamie 250 now is attacking Nikita, and he fancies a move down into the Nouvelle Chicane. Nikita cuts the chicane, but Jamie takes it properly and tries around the outside. He's got the title line to back, and he makes that move stick, glances the wall to back, gets away with it. Opportunistic driving, sensational stuff from Jamie, as it looks like XRL Fozzy has now dived into the pits, and so is Ian Unstoppable. So this is the chance here for Jamie to get himself back into the lead. It was critical he passed Nikita, and he did it as soon as he could. Now XRL Fozzy, has he got onto pit row? Yes, he has, but Jamie is going to come out way in front there, and he clinches inside wall just before Sandoval gets away without damaging the car. I've no idea how he gets away with that.
Yeah, I had a message from XRL Bobbits just a minute ago, and he would like me to say that Dan's overtake was not a bad move from a rookie.
I thought he was talking about Tom Chambers myself out on the screen, but I didn't want to read it out. Meanwhile, Shelby22 says, sloppy driving tonight, besides a rare good overtake. Well, the thing about Monte Carlo is it does seem to bring out the worst in the drivers, doesn't it, on the game? It's because of the tighter nature of the track and the different tyre things like that. It's just such a difficult circuit. It's almost like in many ways Singapore has the same problem. Because you're so close to the walls, you've not got the runoff, you've not got loads of places you can exploit. I like the fact that drivers find it hard here. I like the fact that they're challenged. Meanwhile, Nikita's under pressure again. She's in P5, and Tom Chambers is all over the back of Nikita. I don't know what's happened to Nikita, and Tom Chambers has really closed up to her.
I don't think Nikita's pitted. I think she's
going through the inside. Tom Chambers fancies the move into the outside of the Nouvelle Chicane, and Nikita cuts the chicane as a result of that. But Tom Chambers gets better traction. Fancies a move then Nelson to back here, but he's going to have to filter in and let her go through. And Nikita's really running ragged here into the swim hole section. Tom Chambers 92 in the Ferrari, all over the back of her. Oh, he goes through the chicane and the smooth hole. Loses a few marks there, definitely. Heading into the Rascasse corner as we see Nikita lock up, and Tom Chambers almost doing the same mistake that Esteban Gutierrez did this year. Gets away with it. He's got the DRS down towards Sandoval, but I think he's just going to run out of momentum here, and Nikita survives for now. But then she makes a mistake at Sandoval. Tom Chambers gets a better run up through Beau Rivage. He's going to try and do what XRL Bernie did and go around the outside of Casino Square. Heading into Massenet, he backs off there and knows he's just not close enough.
Yeah, he's not going for the XRL Bernie approach of down the inside and then around the outside, but he's still very close, so he could get the move down towards the Nouvelle Chicane.
Well, heading down to Lowe's, he got a tighter line there than Nikita, but Nikita seems to have more exit speed heading into the 248s, and Tom Chambers really attacking here. He knows he's muscling that Ferrari. He's got a chance to move himself into a good point play position here. Doesn't matter if it's a completed grid, you still have to be able to make it through, and you still have to finish to get the point, and that's exactly what he's doing. Nikita goes to get very close to the inside, and as a result of that, Tom Chambers gets better momentum towards the back, but Tom Chambers just not close enough. Meanwhile, on the stream, we've got a question from Mal GS saying predictions for Le Mans. I'm hoping that Team Toyota take a 1-2. I'd love to see Toyota finally win Le Mans. They should have won it in 1999, but Martin Brundle's car broke down with 30 minutes to go, and it'd be nice to see those guys get a win, especially with the likes of Anthony Davidson, Sebastian Buemi, Kazuki Nakajima, all F1 drivers, and Alexander Burks as well. It'd be great to see them, but I'd also love to see Mark Webber take it, driving for Porsche the first time. Meanwhile, Tom Chambers gets better run of Sandoval, the side by side, up through Beau Rivage, unbelievable, and Nikita brushes the car. Tom Chambers has to filter in at Massenet, but wow, that was great. Both drivers side by side through Beau Rivage, and interestingly, they've caught up to XRL Bernie. I don't think he's made a mistake, but all of a sudden, this is a three-car scrap.
Yeah, XRL Bernie made a mistake in Downton Nose, and he did lose an end plate to it, so he is going to be struggling for downfalls out there. But I don't know if it's me, Swish, but clouds look like it's coming over Monaco. We could get rain.
I said that, and it was interesting because qualifying said 100% there was no rain. Race is 0%, and we've got cloud cover. Anything's possible. Into the Nouvelle Chicane. Oh, Tom Chambers cuts the inside there. So easy to do, but you've got to make sure you don't do it, and you will gain an advantage. Into Tabac, and Tom Chambers all over the back, and Nikita's diffusing out. now. As we head into the swimming pool complex. And how close? Oh, Nikita presses the wall. Tom Chambers takes a base of action. And that's going to get in the outside line to Rascash. You can't do that. No way. And side pod glitch. I knew it was going to happen. And Tom Chambers is facing the wrong way of Rascash. He's going to get a move on. Or he's going to collect Living Death 69. Heading into Anthony Knows. He's just going to get away with that. But the McLaren driver will be all over the back of him now. And Living Death 69 sizes him up towards the Sandoval. But Tom Chambers has got the DRS to pull away into Beau Rivage and gets away with it. Meanwhile, Shelby22 is saying that two of his favourite races are Monaco and Singapore. Very, very interesting. I think I'll exchange those for Spa and Suzuka in Canada. Thank you very much.
And I've got a lagging Jamie. He just cut the chicane at the swimming pool section and then comes back on track.
Well, going back through the field, it looks like Tom Chambers and also the McLaren driver, Living Death 69, are the closest guys on circuit at the moment. So we're right on board here for now. As they head through the tunnel down towards the Nouvelle chicane, where Tom Chambers will be on wearing rubber on those options, whereas Living Death is on those prime tyres. And with the cooler conditions, they'll last a little longer than the option tyres. So you'd fancy Living Death 69 to gain a bit of a jump here, but he also made a bit of a hash in the Nouvelle chicane, clipped the barrier, but got away with no damage. All the drivers really pushing the luck tonight. As Tom Chambers has literally bumped in the air. He damaged his front wing. I'm not sure if he's hit the walls, but it was like he popped a wheelie. And as a result, that Living Death 69 is all over the back of him now. Heading for Anthony Knows, he's got the DRS down towards Sandoval. But this DRS song, there's no point to it. It's just not got enough space.
I mean, I know it's very dangerous, but the best place probably on track to have it is through the tunnel section and going towards...
I agree. How awesome would that be? Going through the tunnel with the DRS open.
I mean, it'll increase the risk to life, but I mean, that's the best place on the track. It's the longest straight.
But we also saw in the real life F1 there was only actual one DRS pass there, and that was Jenson Button on Kevin Magnussen. Well, Kevin Magnussen had a problem with his engine recovery system. On the rest of the track, we had two moves into Rascash, we had at least three into the Lowe's hairpin. You know, it's like, why bother?
I mean, you're talking about wheeling cars. I've just seen a Mercedes pop a two-wheeler down the start-finish straight.
Fantastic. The old American muscle car.
And it's funny, now, interesting. American driving it.
Living Death 69 going through to the back corner, trying to get to the back of Tom Chambers, who's actually started to pull away from him, interestingly, despite glancing the wall and losing two of his end plays. Evidently, that car better set up here, and Living Death 69 struggling. Interestingly, Tom Chambers is also catching up to the back of, I believe that's Nikita and the Red Bull ahead of him. So all of a sudden, we've got really close people getting back to the back of the grid again. Meanwhile, Sora and Bombast making a comment on the street saying, exciting stuff so far. Shame there's not more drivers on the grid. As I say, I think they're going to have to review the policy with regards to who can race when people aren't available, because tonight has been a bridge too far, in my opinion. Just so you're all aware, by the way, for the next 2 weeks, you will not have me doing commentary anywhere, because I will be at the Circuit de la Sarre in France for the Le Mans 24-hour. So I'm afraid I won't be there, so plenty of you people will be able to watch a few of the other guys covering instead.
I'll still be here.
Now, XRL Monaco has a theory regarding Tom Chambers thinking that Nikita's hit the bollard. That's gone onto the racing line, and that caused Tom to fly into the air. Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things with the bollards. They do move around. Oh, as Tom Chambers glances the wall, and the inside of the Nouvelle chicane gets away with it. He's really pushing. He's looking at Ferrari tonight. We saw this a few times. Remember when Rubens Barrichello was brought in 2009 at Australia? He was smashing into absolutely everybody and barely damaged his car. Meanwhile, Animal Mr. Mindigo saying, well, one silver lining, at least for Fallout, won't be in 2014. That's assuming there is a 2014. We've not heard any news on that. There's been absolutely nothing. Total radio silence for Codemasters on that one. No one knows what's going on. The safe money is that it's going to be on the next generation consoles, which will annoy me, because I'm not planning to upgrade to the next gen anytime soon. But I get the feeling that's the title they're trying to unveil. Because, of course, they've got Grid Autosport coming out soon, which actually looks pretty promising for the Xbox 360 and the PS3. But then, next generation, that's where I expect the F1 to come. And actually now, looking at the head, that Ferrari and Tom Chambers has caught up to the back. And it's actually XRL Bernie he's caught. Evidently Nikita's managed to get past, didn't get it on camera, but Tom Chambers is all over the back of XRL Bernie like a rat. And going through the tunnel, he deploys the curse. He fancies a drag race down to the Nouvelle chicane. Here we go, game on. Has he been able to make that survive into the corner? Oh, he pushes the inside, goes over the inside of the chicane. Just about caught that on my footage there. He's going to have to give that place back, and that will be a penalty.
And Bernie spun it, he's lost it.
He's hit it to back, he's lost his end place, and that's his race over. He's now down to the back of the grid. Living Dead 69 goes into 6th place, but meanwhile Tom Chambers has got big question marks over his move there. I cut away briefly, but and interestingly, Living Dead 69 is in the pits on the prime tyre on lap 17.
Yeah, he lost his front wing due to Bernie spinning out.
So he's lost his front wing as well. Disaster. So Tom Chambers now in 5th place has got a great opportunity. Meanwhile, Nikita, she's also spun a Casino Square, and she's reversing on the track. Tom Chambers, it's looking like going to pass her into Casino Square, and he goes through before Mirabel to take 4th position. Nikita's lost it critically. Everyone seems to be dropping it all at the same time all of a sudden. It's like a chain reaction.
This is exactly the stuff we want. Even with a low grid, we're still getting the excitement that we want and love.
He's going to stop with 3rd place on his own at the moment, and then 2nd place we've got XRL Fozzy, who's looking at Jamie 250 Well, that gap's only a few seconds. Don't be ruling these guys out for a race. Meanwhile, someone sent me a message a moment ago. Who was that? Let's find out who you are. Yeah, so meanwhile, XRL Stu reckons he wants Fozzy to get 4th or lower. Doesn't look likely at the moment. And meanwhile, question of Brutal Reapers. What lap do options last for? Well, with the tyre scaling, it's difficult to say, because they were doing about 15 laps, I believe, in the F1 division. So that suggests it's going to be a single-figure pit stop.
Yeah, I think these sort of guys are coming in lap 8 sort of time in GP2, so that's the sort of time if you want to get into the pits, that's the sort of limit you're going to be getting to.
Moving further back through the field, I want to see if anyone else is close to each other. We did see Tom Chambers pulling away from Nikita, but Nikita's stuck with him after that mistake going up through Beau Rivage into Massenet. And Nikita's definitely on all out attack here, despite dropping it at that corner into Casino Square. And look at the difference, barely anything between them. Into Mirabel corner, Tom Chambers taking a wider line, Nikita's taking a tighter entry into Lowe's hairpin. And this is where you're really going to have your rock, a full lock. And Nikita climbing the inside curve there, almost spun the car in through Portier 1 into Portier 2. There's maybe 4 or 5 tenths between these two, where that's between 4th and 5th place.
Just in the race leader, Jamie 2503, he has just pitted for the 2nd time and he's put the prime tyres back on. I reckon he's got one more pit stop if he's going to get to the end.
Well, I mean, the problem we've got, of course, is that with the track here, we don't know if it's going to rain because of the fact that the weather forecast is completely unreliable. And then we've also got the depleted field, making it difficult to see who's going to come out where in the sequence of pit stops. Because of the small nature of the circuit, you could lose a lot of time and then claw it all back. I mean, look at Tom Chambers. Opening lap, makes a banzai move, and Nikita's back into the pits now, interestingly, but I don't think she stopped yet, did she?
I don't think she did, no.
And she's on the option tyres, so she's going to have to do at least one more pit stop. There's no way they'll last 20 laps. Yeah. So Tom Chambers is now freed up in 4th place. Now moving back to Nikita, I want to see where she comes out because it is a short circuit here at Monaco. With the low pit speed, Living Dead 69 is going to come out very close to her actually, but Nikita's just going to have the high ground going through Saint-Deveau by maybe a second and a half.
Interestingly, Bernie made a mistake. He's lost an end plate again, and he's gone back.
And he's back in the pits again. He's not yet. I thought he might be retiring, but he's decided not to. I think he's just been lapped.
Yeah, no doubt. He's gone back in, put prime tyres back on. I think he's just going to stay out there for the points. I mean,
XRL Fozzie's just lapped XRL Bernie, and also Jamie 2503. He's coming up to lap him as well. XRL Bernie stays inside the pit lane, and he's got to be careful he doesn't block Jamie 2503. Oh, that was close. There was literally nothing between them, but XRL Bernie saw him coming and got out of the way. He must stop with 3rd place on his own. They're in a very comfortable race at the moment. And Tom Chambers is about 5 seconds adrift of him. So Tom Chambers has really brought himself back into the race after that first lap incident. But he's also under investigation for a potential illegal overtake. Nikita pushing the inside of the swimming pool chicane a bit too low there. And Living Dead 69 has really caught her up. Maybe those cold tyres and the options aren't working for her this time. And Living Dead 69, oh, he pushes the inside of Anthony Nose. Heading over to the final corner, back to the pit straight. and he's just lost a bit of time and momentum there. Into Sandoval, and then Nuno 69 looking at the back of Nikita. These two look to be the closest on track at the moment. But the big question is, what's going to happen with XRL Fozzy? Is he going to react to the pit stop that Jamie2503 made, or is he going to try and run his own race and maybe stick it out? He's gone for at least one more run. He's gone for his Sandoval now. Moving further back from Jamie2503. He's just come up to Anthony Nose. So that's not a big difference between those two. Maybe 8 seconds, 10 seconds maximum. Definitely not a pit stop.
I mean, you got to remember, Jamie's on the fresh tyres, so he's going to be catching him anyway, but Fozzy, he wants to get it from probably lap 26. There's a chance that he could do just one stop. Well, Jamie might have to do one more.
Well, Fozzy's already been in, but I know what you mean. He's going to have the one stop towards the end, whereas Jamie may need to do two. Tom Chambers is coming into the pits on the option tyres. He's had to get rid of these early, so he's going to, well, I imagine, over the prime tyres. Nikita brushes the wall and goes through the chicane at the swimming pool, though, so he might actually get away with this. Let's ride on, buddy. He has indeed gone to the prime tyres. Nikita's just going through the Rascast corner now, and you can see that Tom Chambers is on pit road, but I think Nikita's going to have him here because of the slow pit speed. Indeed, she goes through, and I imagine Limited 69 is going to take him as well. The McLaren driver will be coming into shot any moment now and takes the position for Sandoval. Meanwhile, LTS, here's a segue for you, Chris. Let's just ask, when are you doing the classic car draw? Well, it's already been done, so over to you.
Okay, so I did do the car draw before we went live here in Monaco. So, for myself and Smithy Lad 56, we will be driving the 96 Williams here in Monaco on Saturday evening. SRS Cold Andy and his teammate Man Bent Pet will be driving the 92 Williams. Tom 625 and his teammate Speed Demon will be driving the 92 Ferrari. Clubs and XRL Dracophile will be driving the 99 Williams. And LGS, you'll be driving the car that me and Smithy just drove, along with your teammate of Piper, which is the 96 Ferrari.
Well, there you go, for all you people driving in the Classics, and of course, with those results will be confirmed in the sub-forum for that as well, if you're not watching on the stream tonight. So make sure you keep attention there before your race on Saturday. Another race around Monte Carlo, so one of the few tracks all season where all divisions race at the same circuit. Now, looking ahead, Limited 69 starting to catch to the back of Nikita by a few tenths maybe, but Nikita's just starting to gap a bit in many ways because those option tyres will just be coming to her at this point. So she's definitely got the opportunity. Now, XRL Bernie, he's really struggling here. He's well down the field. XRL Fozzy stays out for yet another lap. And XRL Bobbers on the screen believes that Fozzy's going to be one less stop than Jamie because he's going to be two stopping, whereas Jamie will be three. But with the short pit entrance here and the short pit lane, is it to your disadvantage to do the extra stop? I mean, it's like at Canada where it's only a short pit lane. If you're somewhere like Silverstone, the less pit stops you do, the better because of how long it takes. But a circuit like Monte Carlo, a circuit like the Circuit de Girona, is it worth putting the extra tyres on having more grip?
I mean, I think the approach that Jamie's got is the fact that he wants to go quicker, but I think he's got some wing damage, so he's going to have to change his front wing in the pit stop anyway. But I've just got a message from Stuart saying that Jamie will need to pit again, which we've kind of sussed out a little bit. But he reckons Fozzy will go to lap 24, which it kind of is now.
Who's that in the box? We've got someone in the pits there. Nikita going through turn 3. It's actually Ian Unstoppable. So he's gone into the box on lap 23. 16 laps on a fresh set of options. A fresh set of primes. That might be doable. And where's he going to come out? It's going to be very close, actually. Oh, he gets just behind the Limited 69 in the McLaren. So it's game on between Ian Unstoppable in the Williams and the McLaren driver, Limited 69, going through Massenet into the Casino Square. And you can see that Ian Unstoppable with the tyres that are just getting up to temperature has slightly better grip, but at the same time poor traction out the corner because he's still getting the heat in them. Well, going into Lowe's hairpin, you can really see that Limited 69 has got a lot less grip. And behind Ian Unstoppable, we've got Tom Chambers 92. It's a three-car train all of a sudden at the front of the point here in Monte Carlo. We've got a big scrap here.
Interestingly, XRL Fozzy stayed out. He's now on to lap 25. So as he stays out the laps, he's going to have to do it for the next
Tom
stint.
Chambers going through the chicane at the Nouvelle section. Got that completely wrong as Ian Unstoppable brushes the wall to back beautifully. Really pushing the grip of that Williams as fast as he can. Going through the swim push chicane and Limited 69 getting a bit twitchy before the Rascast. This is very, very close. Don't turn in too early. Don't do what Esteban Gutierrez that gets away with that. Into Anthony Nels going through the final straight. straight. DRS will be available. Flap opens, course deployed. Heading towards Sandoval. He's just not got the pace on the line to get that move stick. And has to filter in through Beau Rivage.
Interestingly, Tom Chambers has got a 20-second penalty, so I'm wondering with that incident with Nikita Raskas, whether he got a 10-second penalty.
Oh, heading into Casino Square, he'll stop on to get out of the gas because Livinder 69 drifted very wide of Massenet. He managed to avoid hitting the McLaren driver, but Ian Stoffel will be seen, and this is the last place he wanted to come out, right behind the slower moving car. We saw David Coulthard getting stuck behind Enrique Bernoldi for 46 laps in the 2001 Monaco Grand Prix. That's the last place you want to be when you're a faster driver. Your tyres being true to shreds and held up by the slower driver with no way past.
Interestingly, XRL Fozzy's just pitted, so he has made his final pit stop on lap 26.
Oh, great opportunity for Ian Stoffel, takes the title line for the Nouvelle Chicane and goes round the outside before to back. Sensational opportunist driving, evidently the difference between the grip there, but Ian Stoffel making a sensational move, heading into the swimming pool section, and you can see now that Ian's Livinder is really struggling, because now Tom Chambers is all over the back of him, and almost hits his rear diffuser, going through the Rascas. Incidentally, he knows Tom Chambers has got a lot of his cars by DRS open. This is a great opportunity down towards Sandoval. He goes on the outside, but sure there's going to be no room there. He has to field the position, but then Livinder goes too wide, pushes the wall, and Tom Chambers side by side through Beau Rivage has to back out. Through Massenet, into Casino Square, Tom Chambers 92 getting as close as he dares, heading into the Mirabeau corner. He might fancy a move down to the Nouvelle Chicane maybe. Coming down through Lowe's, he's just not close enough. And Ian Stoffel is also potentially backing them together. All the cars sticking with dirty air, and Tom Chambers really keeping close to that McLaren through the two Portiers, but just a bit too wide, and that gives Livinder the crucial ground through the tunnel to keep that position. Meanwhile, who's leading at the moment? That's LGS. I believe it's still XRL Fozzy, but he's not yet stopped, whereas JP2503 has.
That's now incorrect, Swish. Fozzy made a pit stop last lap, and Jamie has now regained the lead.
So it'll be interesting to see how that strategy works out for Fozzy. Can he make that one less stop survive? And also, will Jamie on the fresher road be able to bear down on him? Into the Rascas corner, Tom Chambers fancy driving around the outside. Not going to get through there, maybe on the inside. But oh, and he brushes the inside wall. Anthony knows that costs him crucial momentum, and even with the DRS heading towards Sandoval, he's just not going to be close enough.
Interestingly, between Fozzy and Jamie up front, there is a lapped car, which I believe is XRL Bernie. So Fozzy's got to deal with XRL Bernie before he can actually deal with Jamie to take the lead.
Going through Massenet and into Casino Square. Tom Chambers seems to have more confidence, but also Tom Chambers has got those penalties, so this could be a new battle. But the fact of the matter is, it's action, it's on track, I'm covering it. Heading into the Lowe's hairpin corner, Tom Chambers now trying to get as close as he dares to the back of Livinder 69 and the McLaren through the second of the two Portiers. He's got to take this corner tighter, indeed he does, and that's giving him much better momentum heading through the tunnel, deploys some curves, heading out towards the Nouvelle Chicane. This is an opportunity into the DR, into the slipstream. He's going to try and outbreak him here. It is possible. He's decided, oh, and the big move there. Livinder 69 classes the inside wall and blocks the track at the Nouvelle Chicane. Tom Chambers is let through by Livinder. I think Livinder realised he gained an unfair advantage and has let him through. Great move. Meanwhile, XRL Stewart's in the stream. He thinks that XRL Fozzy has got this tied up and Jamie should have two stops. Well, I don't really know, because XRL Fozzy has got the lap car between them and a gap of maybe 6 seconds. But if we see Jamie go into the pits on maybe lap 32, he's going to have a full stint to really attack. And if he's got any rich fuel left, he could easily bear down on Fozzy. Heading through the Nouvelle Chicane, you can see XRL Fozzy actually dropped off the pace of Jamie. Despite being on the fresh option, the fresher tyres, he's not closing that gap down. Moving further back, Nikita now is running in P3 after all the fracking that's happened on the circuit. Quietly got herself into third place. Whether she stays there is another matter, as Ian Unstoppable is living up to his name for once, really fighting hard, going through the tunnel down towards the Nouvelle Chicane. Gap between them is maybe 4 or 5 seconds, and Ian Unstoppable is really attacking that Nouvelle Chicane. Keeps on getting it so close to the inside apex, but not going over the line. And that's exactly the driving you need to be the best driver in XRL.
Interestingly, Jamie has now pitted, but he had to pit for a fresh wing. So he's lost an extra 5 seconds to Fozzie, and Fozzie has just dealt with XRL Bernie and is now on the way.
Nikita's dived into the box, so Elon Stockwell's going to pass Nikita. Now, where is Jamie going to come out in relation to that? He looks like he's gone through, so I don't think Elon Stockwell's going to threaten Jamie. But yeah, you can see that Jamie's gap is not quite large. He's just gone into Mirabeau at 24 seconds. Yes, there's about a 15-second gap between him and XRL Fozzie with 10 laps to go. 1.5 seconds a lap. Theoretically, with the step between the tyres, that's possible. But will the tyres have enough grip to get into the end? That might not be possible. As Tom Chambers attacks the back of Elon Stockwell, it's the lowest hairpin, but Tom Chambers has to back out and go wide as Elon Stockwell takes the tighter line. Interesting point here from XRL Bobbert. He says even on standard fuel and run cautious, the fuel does not stay as plus however many laps. You could be lucky staying on optimal at the end. And is that something you've experienced, Chris? I can't say I've experienced that myself.
Yeah, I've experienced it at the start of 100% race here in Monaco when I was doing practice with some of the F1 guys. And we start off with +4 laps of fuel by the end of Sunday, but we've already got +3. So no matter running on standard, we're actually losing fuel compared to gaining it.
No, also just one of the many litanies in the game that don't quite make sense. We've had this before many times. Tom Chambers with DRS open, heading into Saint-Leboeuf. That's a bit of a lock up there, but gets away with that, heading up through Beau Rivage, and he uses his curves off Beau Rivage here, quite intelligent, trying to get close to the back of Elon Stockwell in the Williams, going through Massenet into Casino Square, and this is a great opportunity now for Tom Chambers. He's starting to close the gap once again into the Mirabeau corner. Don't do what Nico Rosberg did. Takes a nice tight line there and into Lowe's hairpin, and you can see all drivers favouring the very wide entry there. Well, that corner's very unusual, isn't it? It seems to open wider and then come back at you. Kind of similar in many ways to the hairpin at Shanghai.
Yeah, there's many aspects of this track that obviously they try and get into other tracks, but none of them match up to this wonderful track.
Well, meanwhile, Elon Stockwell's gone very wide at the Nouvelle chicane, and that's allowed Tom Chambers to catch very closely into the back, and Tom Chambers is now in the dirty air through the high-speed chaser at the swimming pool. Not a place where you want dirty air here, but he's got away with that. Heading into Rascasse, he's got really close to the back of the Elon Stockwell's Williams, and into Rascasse corner. Stockwell going very wide there, so into Anthony Nose, and then Tom Chambers goes wide. Both drivers switching pit to and fro. DRS open, curves deployed. Tom Chambers in the Ferrari attacking Elon Stockwell. He's going to have to back out. He's not close enough. And heading up through Beau Rivage, can he out-track the Williams? No, he can't. Meanwhile, XRL Stewart says, even if we see Jamie 2003 catching up to Fozzie, around here, Fozzie will not let it to happen. Well, he knows he's got a great chance, and as Stewart says, without himself or Sarkit Tarko in the race, this really changes the championship, and it just goes to show how one lower attended race can really make a big difference.
This won't just change the championship, it will actually put Fozzie the championship leader after this.
And Fozzie, of course, has shown he can mix it with the best of them. He's done it in the F1 division. He's certainly done it tonight here at the GP2. And as we head into the lower downforce of Canada, all cards are going to be on the table in this game of high-stakes poker, as all guys want to get themselves back into the championship hunt as we head into the second half of the season. Going through the swimming pool chicane, Tom Chambers has got a good opportunity here. Heading into the Rascasse, is he going to try and take the tighter line, undercutting Ian? Elon Stockwell goes to the middle of the track, taking a leap out of XRL GP2 book, gets away with it, but Tom Chambers is closer than he's ever been. DRS open, curves the blade, he goes into the pit lane, and Elon Stockwell nearly pushed him into the pit wall. That was very dirty driving from Elon Stockwell. That was almost like Schumacher and Barrichello at the Hungarian Grand Prix in 2010. Really uncalled for there from Elon Stockwell. Elon Stockwell really didn't need to do that with a 20-second penalty that Tom Chambers theoretically has. He's pretty much evened the game between them two. That was silly driving from Elon Stockwell. And unlike Christian Horner, when I say it's silly, it means something. Living Dead 69 in 5th place has got Nikita all over the back of him. Living Dead 69, his tyres must be absolutely dead. He's drifting through the two portiers. He's literally drifting sideways, and Nikita thought he's passing him inside the tunnel at full speed. Oh, this is going to be tightening brush wheels heading into the Nouvelle chicane, and Nikita is going to have the tight line, but she misses the chicane, and collision! Living Dead 69 literally goes into the side of her. Now, I'm not sure who's to fault there, because it looked to me like Living Dead 69 had the corner, and then as a result of that, Nikita's gone over the chicane, and that's caused the T-bone. That's certainly going to need to be actually looked into and reviewed after the race. Meanwhile, Andy Coy's saying, alright Flashback, what a knowledge you have. Believe me, I've got plenty of knowledge about the sport. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Who's the last driver in the world to pit and change their fuel before refueling was banned in 2009?
Jarno Trulli.
Bastard. Very few people know that. You'd be amazed how many people don't know that. And in fact, you only know because I've actually done it before, I'm sure of it. Maybe. Tom Chambers is for 4th place, trying to bear down on Ian Unstoppable. And yeah, on the stream, XRL Stuart says Living Dead does a Perez. I'm not so sure he did, because it looked to me that Living Dead had the corner, and then Nikita's like tried to bail out of it and gone over the chicane, and that's what's caused them to come together. I'm not sure who's really responsible there. That's one that will have to be reviewed over the race, because needless to say, that was pretty ugly and could have been a nasty sidepod glitch, but they got away with it. Now, Jamie 2503 is only 5 laps left to go. Just coming up to Mirabeau now, and ahead of him, XRL Fozzy is out of the tunnel. XRL Fozzy has easily got this. Now, LGS, I said change the fuel. Mika Salo's one of the few drivers in the modern era to go the whole distance without refueling when you could refuel. That was at the 1997 Monaco Grand Prix, as you say, completely correct. Of course, it was shortened due to rain. Meanwhile, Stuart says Wayne Rooney was the last person to change fuel. Who's Wayne Rooney, and how's that related to Formula 1?
He's a footballer.
No, that explains why I don't know who he is then. Yeah, Sean Cora, a Northerner who doesn't like football. But unfortunately, because of that incident with Nikita, it looks like the field's now spread out. Living Dead 69 has been into the box for a fresh set of options, and I assume a fresh nose cone. But he's not going to be catching up to Nikita, because Nikita's way ahead of him, got already through the Nouvelle chicane when he's got to Mirabeau. So he's been pretty much demoted down to 6th place. And XRL Bernie, well, 10 out of 10 for trying. He's still there. He's currently in P7, and he knows he's nowhere near the pace, but he needs the points more than anyone.
Yeah, interestingly, the Living Dead did pit. He's actually lost an end plate already.
It certainly seems as if there was a nose cone destruction championship. These guys were pretty much moving things forward. Meanwhile, Jordan Kelly daring to say I have good knowledge not. Oh, is that a challenge, is it? Let's see. What's the most obscure track I can think of? Here we go. What German driver tried to enter the German Grand Prix after being previously disqualified and still went onto the track before it was black flagged? And no, Wikipedia and Google are banned.
Okay.
It's not in the modern era, it's a very, very old era. We're talking the 70s.
70s? I don't know any drivers from the 70s.
What, you don't know Niki Lauda? You don't know James Hunt? You don't know Gilles Villeneuve?
Okay, I know the world champions and some of the good drivers.
You don't know Jody Scheckter?
Of course I know Jody Scheckter.
You don't know Clay Regazzoni?
I've heard of the name.
Yeah, LGS saying you don't know Jochen Mass. There's another one. But no, it wasn't Jochen Mass who was the person who did it, actually. I'll give you a clue. He's technically not an F1 driver, because that one illegal entry was his only ever entry. He's the most obscure racer in history, to my knowledge. A person by the name of Hans Heyer. And if you want to know more about him, go to f1rejects.com. They've got a profile on him. Very interesting read. And if you actually like any obscure facts about F1, check that site out.
Have they got a picture of Pastor Maldonado yet?
Oh, they've got plenty of pictures of Pastor Maldonado. They have a rule where what they do is the only drivers who've scored about, I think it's less than 3 points, are allowed a profile on the site. But they've got some modern ones and some old ones. The likes of Luca Badoa's on there, for instance. Also Luciano Berti, I believe he's on there. And you've also got the Malaysian wonder himself, Alex Jung, if any of you remember him.
Interestingly, did I have Nick Heifeld, the driver that came so close to winning a race but yet never won one during his career?
Actually, he overtook that unwanted record from, in terms of podiums, from Martin Brundle. But the driver who's entered the most Grand Prix and never won is the Swiss legend himself, Andrea De Cesaris.
No comment.
The mobile chicane, as he was known. Anyone who came up to lap him usually got held up for about 6 laps.
Interestingly, Sean's just put something on there with Jochen Rindt about the 69 World Championship. Jochen Rindt is currently the only world champion to not actually pick up his championship trophy due to the fact he did unfortunately pass away at the Monza Grand Prix.
That's right, he's the only posthumous champion. It's a real shame. That's a record that, well, I'm glad to be honest, isn't likely to be broken anytime soon, or at least you'd hope so. Meanwhile, XRL Killer saying, just tuning in, Switch, what have I missed? Answer, the race. There's 2 laps to go. Actually, LGS corrects Sean B there, and leaves a man that's F1 encyclopedia like myself, saying it was actually 1970 when he won, because he died at Monza the same year.
Yeah, I believe 69 was Niki Lauda, I believe. You might be...
Niki Lauda? Don't think
possibly.
So.
Okay, if not, it was Anderson Fittipaldi, but...
Plenty of people should have been lots of debates on that. Meanwhile, we've actually got a battle on the final lap here because Nikita, in 4th place, is actually being caught quickly by Tom Chambers. But again, who knows where he's going to finish with all the penalties that are being handed out. And I'm sure we got quite, despite being a tiny field, we've still got a little here to investigate. You'd think that with a race like this, it'd be quite easier for the people to be quiet and get their head down. Nope, not going to happen. And interestingly, I think Ian Stopples has made a mistake actually at Massenet. Indeed, he has. Nikita's all over the back of Ian Stoppable, and heading into Mirabeau, there's almost no difference between them. All of a sudden, we've got a battle for the podium here. Ian Stoppable has lost the big time. He's gone wide. I think he may have lost his. Indeed, he's lost his front wing. Ian Stoppable is going to finish off the podium and maybe down in 6th place. He's not got a front wing. Nikita goes through.
That is a poor question by Sean Bean.
That's a terrible question. Which country gained the only podium finish they've ever had that very same race? You're not allowed to answer this, Chris, because you're in the box.
Oh, the thing is, I know it so well.
That's a better question for that Grand Prix.
I've got a better question. Which were the nationalities that took part, as in the drivers?
That's actually a very good question, because some of the drivers in there are quite obscure.
Indeed.
Meanwhile, LGS reckons the next GP2 race should be a pub quiz on F1. Well, I have to say that I won't be there for it because I'll be at Le Mans, so if anyone decides to do that, and LGS gets the correct answer, it was indeed Portugal, the great driver himself, Tiago Monteiro. And India got their best ever result, that very same race, of course, and their own Karthik came 4th.
Indeed. I believe it's the only time that India have ever won points with in Formula 1. As Fozzie comes across the final corner and to take the checkered flag, 25 points for XRL Fozzie and Ferrari. Great drive.
XRL Bobbers, that's what's my pin number, 9999. As Ian Unstoppable, Sansa front wing is still staying in 4th place. He's not pitted. And that's a masterstroke because Tom Chambers is too far behind him. And without a front wing, heroically, I think Ian Unstoppable is going to drag that Williams onto 4th place. Providing he can get the car stopped for the Nouvelle chicane, he misses it by millimetres. But without a front wing, that's mitigated circumstances. In real life, he'd be pretty much getting a warning flag to stop the car. But this is a game, and as far as I'm aware, there's no rule on it. So I think he's going to get away with this and sneak 4th place in the real damage limitation drive here, riding on board with him. Unbelievable. How many cars on board in the 1998 Spa crash? There were 14 actually.
Oh,
14 cars collided, and I believe only 5 of them didn't make the restart. one of whom was Eddie Irvine, who made it and had a problem with his car straight away.
And another one was Martin Brundle. I think he crashed the car like seconds after the restart.
Martin Brundle was racing in 1998, was he? I'm sure he'd retired and commentated for ITV by that point.
Who was it then?
Yeah, he was. He was commentating for ITV.
Who was the one that got the... Oh.
Well, in the meantime, then let's get the drivers in for the podium, because needless to say, there's plenty of people involved here. Get all these people in for their comments. Now, will Nikita grace us with her presence? It's been difficult to get her in sometimes, it has to be said. LGS says, try to name all the drivers. Oh, good luck with that one. Meanwhile, XRL Fozzy, we'll go on to you then. In a race which was a depleted field, it certainly didn't seem depleted with action. You seem to be going pretty much at it with Jamie 2503 for a long time. But ultimately, it seemed your strategy of being able to use that one less pit stop was the real difference maker. How was it out there on the track for you?
It was very difficult. I was in two minds whether they did 2 or 3 stop, but when Jamie went in around lap 19, I think it was, that was it. I made my mind up to stay out, do the 2 stop and hope for the best. And luckily, it paid off.
Well, with the early retirement by XRL Stewart, there is one big silver lining for this, as well as taking the win at Monte Carlo, which is always special. You're now moved into the lead of the GP2 Championship. Do you fancy you can follow this all the way through and be picking up the championship trophy in Sao Paulo?
Well, that's been my aim from the start. The past sort of 5 races or so have been pretty bad. The results have not been great. But hopefully this is a turning point and make those guys do all the hard work and catch us up.
Well, I'd say it's certainly a great performance there, so congratulations to you, Fozzy. Jamie, we'll go over to you. First of all, that pass on XRL Stewart at the start, where the hell did that come from? That was superb.
Yeah, I knew I had to get it, because I did a pretty poor quali lap. I was quite happy that I managed to get into the lead. I knew that I was stuck between a 2 and a 3 stop, and then when the field was so spread out, I just thought I'll just go for it. Closing Fozzy in, and then just a couple of mistakes. I lost both my aim plates on the second prime stint and the final option stint. If it wasn't for that, it might have been quite a wee bit closer, but just out-strategised today.
Well, I've certainly seen a race where you had the pace early on, and obviously you can always say about what might have been, but obviously it still puts you in a chance with the championship. XRL Fozzy may have moved up to top place for now, but do you think you'll be able to snap at his heels and try and take that away from him?
Well, the next 2 or 3 tracks are quite strong for me, so we'll see how it goes. Hopefully get a couple more podiums from there, and see how the championship goes after that.
Well, in the meantime, congratulations to the pair of you. Unfortunately, our 3rd place finisher, Nikita, has not actually made it into the podium here, so we're going to have to sign off without her. It's a bit of a shame, really. We'll have to hear what her comments were. But as we move on tomorrow night, you do have the GP3 race. I believe Sharky will be covering that. Also, the F4000 division will be on as well. Not sure if that's being streamed. I'm not actually got any confirmation for that. Then on the Wednesday, it's the double header of F5000 and also the T6. The 2 divisions at the back. Well, sure there'll be plenty of action here. And then on the Saturday, completing your feast of Monte Carlo Monaco Mayhem, you've also got the Classics race, where you'll see the likes of Chris Moss, XRL LGS, Sean Mead, and all the others all going at it. But in the meantime, courtesy of GT Omega Racing and GamePod.co.uk, this has been the XR Racing League GP2 division. It might have been a depleted field, but that doesn't mean you can't have fun. Thank you all very much for watching, and good night.